A new member being welcomed into the Heart of the Valley Chamber of Commerce this week.
The Fab Valley works well too. It's the
Sure does.
Cedars Project, and their mission is to create an inclusive space for people in the community to build relationships and celebrate individuality. Taylor Zebel checked it out this afternoon.
In between the Fox River and Canal Street in Little Chute was an abandoned property for years, but is now transformed into a vibrant oasis.
It's a hub for people in the community to come together, build projects that will enhance the community and kind of uplift everybody.
Isaiah Dreesen is the founder of the Cedars Project, which has an indoor and outdoor venue where people from around the area can be their authentic selves.
So I did it because it's something I wanted to do and I felt called to do, but I do feel like what I hear from people coming, they genuinely like having a place where they feel like they can just be themselves and they feel safe being themselves and they're welcome and everybody's like individual uniqueness is celebrated.
Members from the community helped make the space unique with their artistic talents.
So often we rotate this out for a different artist.
The Cedars Project hosts a variety of events as part of what's called Cedar Streams, which includes live performances and interviews in front of an audience.
Everybody was so excited. Like they just had this great experience and they all just wanted to talk and hang out and it was like, wow, this is like amazing. It was an amazing feeling of the, people in the community, just the love, it was beautiful.
Reporting in Little Chute, Taylor Zebel, Action 2 News.